Okay, I'm live, I think. Hi, everybody. Welcome to my house. And actually, I think it just came on live. We're testing out a new platform. It's called Webinar Jam. I'm not as proficient at it. This is going to be my first time. I've done a lot of webinars. This is the first time live and the first time in my house. And welcome. And there you go. So I started about 5 minutes early. We're coming up to the hour, but I wanted to get online, make sure you guys can hear me, see me, and just get used to the system a little bit here before we start the presentation. So let me know if you can hear me and see me. And the one thing that I don't like about Webinar Jam is that it has a 10 to 15 minute second delay. So as I'm saying this now, I'm starting to see your yes, Dory, yes, 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 yes. Okay, good. So it's not going to be as interactive as I usually like the webinars to be. So because a lot of times, I'll have somebody on, they're talking, and then I'm answering questions. So it goes really, it's at the same time. This isn't at the same time. It has that delay, so it's going to be a little bit weird for me. In any case, I do have somebody here that's going to be answering your questions as you type them in as I'm talking. But don't expect, I don't think you're going to see your question. Your question may not be answered in the time frame that you ask it, so just be a little bit patient. And sometimes we have so many, we're not going to be able to get to all of them. We have well over 1,000 people on this. This is another reason why we went to Webinar Jam, is because GoToWebinar only goes up to 1,000 people. So we knew we'd have a lot more than that. We've already totally surpassed that. So which also makes me a little bit nervous. But in any case, hi. If you don't know me, my name is Dory Friend. I've been on the internet since 2000, and I have a formal presentation or introduction to myself in the presentation when I start that. And let's see. Let me get over here and make sure that everything is happening over here. I'm glad you guys came on the call because we got stuff. I got stuff that I'm going to show you. I'm going to share with you or tell you where to download some stuff that I'm going to take out of the recordings because I don't want the whole internet to know. But, I wanted to give something to you guys that actually showed up on the call. And we're going to be doing a couple of these because there's a lot of changes that are going on the internet, a lot of changes going on with Google, and I actually am very happy to be able to talk about this because, as the people who know me, Google is a type of a nemesis to me, as you'll find out in the presentation. And they have not been a good steward to the internet industry, the cottage industry that has risen up around them. And so that's one of the mistakes that they've made that I'm going to talk about. And they've made some other mistakes that I'll also talk about, which I believe is leading to an eventual downcline for them. And then we're going to talk about Amazon and how that is rising, and it's absolutely freaking unbelievable what's going on over there. And we're making way more money over there than we ever did on Google getting traffic. So I think you're going to be really pleasantly pleased to get this information. I keep looking over there because I'm looking at the clock. We got 2 more minutes before I'm going to turn on my slide presentation, so I have 2 more minutes to talk. Hey, I'm seeing some names saying hi. Jim, Larry, hello. Sam, yes, I see you. It goes so fast, it kind of makes it's kind of interesting. So anyway, what else did I want to talk about? Yes, I'm only going to share stuff here. I have some PDFs and recipes I'm going to give you guys. And this is marking of a new age, actually, and this is it's a really interesting time. I think we're still in the tip of the iceberg for the internet. It's still the wild, wild west. I've been online since 2000. I used to work for Apple Computer while I was a contractor. They contracted me to a full-time extent. I even worked on premise for a year. They tried to hire me, but they couldn't pay me enough. So I have some stories to tell about that as well, and what Apple did in the 90s that Google's seeming to do right now. And if Steve Jobs didn't come in and shape things up, and unfortunately for me that meant cutting the departments I was working in, Apple wouldn't be what Apple is today. And that is what's happening with Google, I believe. And they need to concentrate on what they do best, and that is search, and probably leave the rest to the other people. So, and not try to take over the world. So it's 5 o'clock now. I'm just going to give it a couple more minutes since I'm on my soapbox. Let more people get online. Get on the webinar, the live event, and it is live. As you can see, I am here, and Matt and Brad say hi. They're online as well. They're not on the video, obviously. It's me. And I actually thought about having somebody introduce me, but sometimes it just gets a little bit too, I don't know, showy. And I'm definitely not showy. I'm definitely a real person. I'm an SEO geek. I was a visual designer, interactive interface designer before that with Apple, mostly. I did a lot of clients, did a lot of logos too, because I was a visual designer. I was an art major. So for some reason, I really clicked with SEO in about 2001, and we started automating the process in 2002 and created software around that and absolutely killed it with AdSense when they opened up in 2003. And even in the last part of the last 2 years, I've still done very, very well in an industry that has been ultimately destroyed. I mean, Google is trying to take out SEO, and it's not been easy. It's been hard, and I never gave up. And that's what another message I want to give to you too is never give up. Never give up your online dream or working from home or doing what you want to do. And I hope I have some of the answers here for you because it's definitely changing people's lives right now. And this is a really, really good time to be on the internet and to start working this different angle, which I'm going to share with you. It's the tip of the iceberg, and you want to get locked in. So anyway, it is about 5:02 now, so let's start going. Now I'm going to switch this to my desktop presentation, and hopefully I do slide share over here, and you're going to see my desktop, and we'll start going. Okay, here we go. So the title of the presentation is Amazon is the New Google. The state of search marketing. And I was going to put the state of SEO, but I'm definitely not taking SEO out of my business name like a lot of other people have. But I wanted to go a little bit broader and use search marketing because it is more than just SEO, and I'm going to be talking about things that are changing in a lot of different ways that surpass SEO. And for those of you who are new to the internet, SEO means search engine optimization, and it's typically how we get free traffic or natural traffic, non-paid for traffic. And I want you to know that this is a first of a series that we're doing. So in the month of April, we're going to be doing a lot of stuff on Amazon and how to rank different channels, meaning YouTube videos, press releases, and all that kind of stuff, taking traffic away from Google, actually taking and bringing it onto Amazon. So this is the first one of that series. So next slide. What am I going to be talking about in this presentation? Well, I'm first going to go over some internet history and how we got to where we are now, which is important to understand so you know where we are going. And I'm going to go over some of Google's mistakes. I'm going to talk about the other search engines, and I'm not talking about just Bing and Yahoo, and what Google is trying to do about it and the changes that are occurring. I'm going to talk about how to take advantage of this turn of events, and I am also, yes, going to be talking about ranking stuff, so that's search engine optimization, but on different engines. So I'm really, really excited to talk about this. I'm really happy to share what I've been finding out. I have some incredible numbers, really weird stuff that I get to present to you that I don't think anybody else has ever presented. So who am I? Well, my name is Dory Friend. I've been marketing online since 2001. I got on the internet on 2000, so I've been marketing online since 2001, like I said. And I have 2.4 million reasons for you to listen to me, because that's how much I've made in the last 2 years in an industry that Google has tried to defunk. So, like I was saying before, I didn't give up, and I'm hoping to pass on that passion and inspiration for you to not give up on your internet dream no matter what Google does, because they do not own the internet. So, like I said before, I worked in Apple in the 90s. I was a contractor, and if you have a phone, if you have a smartphone, you might want to take it out because that you'll be able to go to the camera portion of it, or actually anything that has a transparent overlay. That's my stuff. I was fortunate enough to be on that team that created that first digital operating system that is still being used, and Apple still covets those patents. And then in 2000, I hit the internet, and I hit it hard. And I am the proud creator of SEO Nitro, SEO Link Final Elite, SEO Link Monster, Backlink Buddy, Link Density, Traffic Rockstars, eFiltrate, Traffic King Pro, Publisher King Pro, SEO Rockstars, and look out for Rank Ratio in the end of June. So I also speak. This is me at Yonex Underground in 207. You can only do it once, and that was an incredible honor for me to be able to speak there. This is SEO Rockstars that I put on every year. It's about 100 SEO professionals that get together, and we exchange our brilliant ideas, and I'm the host of that. And I also spoke at the Amazing Selling Machines last conference. I got a standing ovation. It was really, really incredible. And this is what it looks like when you're in front of 1,100 people. This was their crowd, 1,100 people that all standing up. It was quite overwhelming. It was wonderful. But what I want you to do is look into this audience, because in this audience, everybody here is, if they've gotten online, if they actually took action, they are making money. They are making probably at least $1,000. I mean, that is easy, sneezy stuff. Somebody even got $1 million a month badge recently. So, of course, that is way, way extreme. I'm not even there. But you can expect the average person in this room making between $5,000 and $50,000 a month on Amazon. And most of these people are newbies. And I'm going to tell you why this is happening and how you can do it too. So let's get into a little bit of internet history first. Oh, Matt just Skyped me though. He wanted to make sure that I remind you that we have some stuff that we're giving away at the end of the webinar, so be sure to stay on. Plus, these stats that I have coming up that compares Google to Amazon is going to completely blow you away. So Google was launched in roughly 1998. They were on before that as Backrub, actually, because they counted backlinks. That was their name at the time. And their growth was driven almost exclusively by the word of mouth in a grassroots type of effort. Now, I actually had got the privilege to know some of the people that worked at Apple at the time, at Google at the time, because they used to work for Apple. One of my friends who was employee number 24, which was the vice president of marketing, yes, very well retired now. But at the time, I remember her coming into one of our parties, and she says, I said, hey, what are you doing now? She says, I'm working for this place called Google. Have you heard of it? And I go, you know what? I've actually seen that search engine. She goes, yeah, tell your friends. So it really was driven by the word of mouth. And that's what we did. We told everybody. So, it was a cool search engine. They didn't have any ads like the other guys did. MSN and Yahoo were full of ads, and AOL too. It was just crazy. So I was happy to spread the word. I loved Google. And then the rush began to get online, and people like myself, SEO people who were working in paid advertising, PPC and AdWords, we went out and got businesses. We brought those businesses online. It was like, let's go, everybody, get online. Get found, be one of the first ones. So even though Google officially launched Google AdWords, which is their advertising system, in 2000, it really wasn't what it is today. And if you wanted traffic, SEO was the way to go. SEO was sexy. It was getting free traffic. And this was the days of just basic, on-page optimization and link wheels. It was great. Google did their dances, refined their linking algorithms and their on-page algorithms, and we just kind of shifted our strategies to suit. We just followed along. It was going well, and businesses surrounding the, search industry started to emerge. This created multiple cottage industries, which happens when there is a huge shift on the planet and the internet has been one of those huge shifts. Before that, it was the invention of the car, and well, actually, it wasn't the car, but it was the assembly line, 100 years ago. So the internet becoming its own and Google becoming the best search engine on the internet was very powerful, and it gave them a lot of power. And then, after 13 years of us being their biggest fans, their allies, their grassroots champions, trusting in their stewardship, in 2011, Google began to do the unthinkable. They turned on us. They started de-indexing sites. They started sending out link notices to hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people saying, you have unnatural links. They gave manual penalties, link penalties. They put out the disavow tool, which 121 million links were disavowed in September of 2013 alone. 5,000 reconsideration requests come in a week. I mean, this is devastating. So even if you don't know what all that means, all those things that they did made tons of websites' rankings drop from the first page to practically nowhere in the search results. I mean, Google has the power to take away free traffic to a ton of websites just like that, and they did it. And then they infiltrated businesses with the sole intent to do harm. Now, Matt Cutts even sends out tweets about who they hit last. And Matt Cutts, for those of you who don't know, is a Google engineer that is essentially in charge of all of Google's wrongdoing right now. I mean, here's one that says you might notice a big drop in page rank on thousands of TLA link selling sites a couple weeks ago. That is Text Links Ad. Those guys were huge. I mean, that's a huge company. Can you imagine all the employees that they had to let go and the families of those employees, all because Google infiltrated their business with the sole intent to do harm? I mean, that stuff, here's some other ones about a guest blog network. They've done it and done it and done it. And I don't know how they get away with it because there is a law against it. It's called tort law. It's unlawful for any entity to interfere with economic or business relationships that are likely to involve pure economic loss. And that is what has happened. And again, I don't know how they get away with this. So I started to think, why would Google go to all this trouble when their results were great? I thought their results were great at the time. And they were empowering a new generation of business owners that were creating jobs for others and helping the economy. Why would they go to all this trouble to hatchet that? I mean, their results kind of suck now, and everyone is mad at them. So besides wanting to push people into using their AdWords program, which is their advertising program, so businesses can still get traffic and still stay in business, I mean, what could be their motivation? So then I thought, okay, where do I shop? Where do I go to buy a product? Is it Google? No, it's not Google anymore. Like zillions of others, I go to Amazon. Because with one search and one click, the product is shipped to my house. So here's Google's process. What happens when you go to Google? You search for Red Dog House, and then you analyze the results and click on a link. And then you click on one of the review pages to an affiliate site. And then you click on some e-commerce store. And then you click the item to put in your cart. And then you have to input your credit card. And then you input your address and phone and email. And then you click submit. I mean, that is a lot of work. And Google has the one-click solution that Amazon has to compete with. So what did they try to do? They did a hatchet on this part. Click on the review page in an affiliate site. And that's what most of us were. That's where a lot of people were, they were incredibly good at SEO. They were being able to get those rankings. They had good stores. They had great reviews. And that's what Google gave the hatchet to. Because you know what? The other stuff is still there. You go to Google, even Google Shopping, they send you to another e-commerce store. They are way, way behind. Again, the black is what you do at Amazon, the red is what you do at Google, and they have to get the rest of that stuff out to even compete with Amazon. And Matt Cutts even admits, we want to get the user from point A to point B as quickly as possible, which makes sense. They're just really wasted some time, though, because while they are taking a hatchet to the cottage industry that grew up around them and were their biggest allies, they were also going in all kinds of different directions. And this is why I brought Apple up, because I was there in that 90s. I'm old enough to remember what it was like. Apple was trying to do everything. They were trying to do scanners. They were trying to do cameras. They were, they were doing Newton, which was a tablet back in those days, which actually, it still is all hardware, but they were going in so many different directions that in 1997, Steve Jobs, this was before he came back, he said that he didn't feel that Apple was salvageable at the time because there was no clear-cut direction. And that's what's happening at Google. I mean, they have so many different programs going on. We have Google Docs, we have Google Mail, we have Google Voice, DoubleClick, Picasa, Blogger, Google Calendar, Google Analytics, which is great, and they should have that. So there's some things in here that do pertain to search, but what about the other stuff that they're doing? They're going into the phone business. In fact, they bought Motorola Mobile for $12 billion, and they did such a lousy job at running that and trying to create the manufacturing of phones, they had to sell it for $2 billion, 2 point something. So that just goes to show you. Now they're creating tablets. So they've definitely got into the hardware system, and they're creating operating systems for all this type of hardware. They're trying to be Apple. It's like they're trying to be Apple, Facebook, Microsoft, and themselves all in one. Now, here's a really, really cool invention, and I'm not saying that these things are not cool. I mean, the self-driving car, too. It's really, really cool, but it's not search, and this is what's happening. They're all over the place, and so that is going to have a diminishing effect, especially because this is a company that relies almost solely on their search advertising, 96% for their revenue. Nothing else is making money for them. So when you look at this, and with some of the other stuff I'm going to show you, you're going to start understanding why I'm going to make the prediction that I'm going to make. And during all this time, look at Amazon. Amazon has built a distribution center that is second to none. They are the largest online retail store in the world, and they have one-click processing. Now, that's a patent they got in 1999. And with Prime, you get everything in 2 days. So while Google's all over the map doing their stuff, Amazon, which was created in the 90s as well, has been focused on their prize, and their prize is selling merchandise. So when you see charts like this that show you how massively huge Google is, it's kind of deceptive because it ignores all the other searches that are being done in other channels. Because here it says, okay, Google has 66%. And you go, oh, wow, why should I go to anywhere else? I'm still going to try on Google. And believe me, we're not going to leave Google alone. But 66%, 66% of what? Long gone are the days that we go to Google first. I mean, we have video search, YouTube, Dailymotion, Vimeo, however you pronounce that. I never could pronounce that. We have image search, Instagram, Pinterest. There's music search. There's iTunes, SoundCloud, TV, Netflix, and there's Vimeo again. Vimeo, I don't know. Auctions, you go to eBay. You don't go to Google and then go to eBay. There's news sites, CNN, New York Times. That's where I get my news. I don't go to Google anymore. And then there's community, Facebook, and yes, Google Plus. So there, Google again is trying to be Facebook. You have LinkedIn. You have the buyer search engine finally, without further ado, which is Amazon. So here are the mistakes I think Google's making as they try to catch up. Huge mistake number one was treating their fan base like the enemy. We no longer have loyalty to them, and even worse, we despise their arrogance as they have abused their industry stewardship. Huge mistake number two was going all over the place with their product lines and not focusing on their bread and butter, which is search. And huge mistake number three, they are teaching us, the search base, to use their competitors. And I got more on that in just a minute. But first, I predict we're going to continue to see an ongoing trend of Google being the leader in info search, but I predict a trend for the money keyword searches to start taking place in other search channels, which, when the money keyword search goes elsewhere, so will Google's revenue, because it's all tied together. I mean, you remember AOL, right? They ruled the internet in the 90s. Kings are replaced. when they make mistakes. And newbie or not, this is going to have a huge impact on everyone, because if you sell anything online now or plan on it, you need to be in front of the buyer traffic. And I just went over things that are making Google's traffic less and less the buyer traffic and increasing in those other channels, especially on Amazon. So you just can't ignore what's going on in other places on the internet. So now I'm going to get nerdy on you. I got stats on visitors and visitor value that's going to even prove my point a little bit further. So unique visitor stats. Even though Amazon gets less than half of the unique visitors per month that Google does, the people going to Amazon want to purchase, while 80% of Google searches are solely still for information. So we have a list here of how much traffic, and you see Google gets 1.1 billion search estimated unique monthly visitors, while Amazon, which is number 5 on the list, of the sites that get the most traffic, they get about 500 million unique monthly visitors. Now, when you look at this traffic side by side, the buyer traffic, 20% of Google is buyer traffic. So maybe 20, and I think this is really, really high though. The 20% of the people that are going to Google are actually looking for something to buy. I think that's very high, but we'll give it to them anyway. That means out of 1.1 billion unique visitors, 220 million are buyers, which is only half of Amazon's buyer traffic. And then industry leaders predict that Google's average conversion rate is only 3 to 5%, while others have predicted Amazon's conversion rate to be 9 to 10%. So you take these stats a little bit further and you see out of 220 million buyer traffics per month that Google gets, they're only converting at 3 to 5%, which equals about 6.6 to 11 million unique visitors into customers. That's what they're converting. While Amazon's 500 million monthly unique visitors are converting at 9 to 12% for a whopping 45 to 60 million customers per month. So they're converting 45 to 60 million customers, while Google is only converting 6 to 11 million customers per month. And that looks like that. Now, where do you want to be promoting? I know where I want to be promoting. And when you see this, it just pops in your face. It's like, how did this go so unnoticed for so long? In fact, I've never seen anybody bring up this type of statistics before in any presentation. It's brand new right here. When you see it, you can't deny that Amazon is 4 to 5 times the power of Google is when it comes to buyers' traffic. But are we going to leave Google alone? No, we're not going to leave Google alone. We're going to go over there and capture traffic. We're going to bring it to Amazon. And I'm going to show you how to do that. But first, let's talk about Amazon a little bit. There's 3 main elements to ranking on Amazon. It's a simple equation: number of sales, number of reviews, and conversion. That's pretty much it that we know of that play a huge role. So number of reviews and conversion, that's another conversation. Number of sales, though, is traffic, and that's what we're going to talk about. So ranking your stuff on Google and sending their buyer traffic to Amazon actually is going to help your Amazon ranking, which in turn brings you more sales, which helps you more in the rankings, and so on and so on. So even though we're going to Amazon, we're also going to pull Google traffic from Google to Amazon, taking it with us. And now I want to give you an idea of what kind of volume this is. So I'm going to talk about seller's rank. You can go to Amazon, search for something, open up the product page, and look for that product seller rank. And that's going to tell you how much they're selling. So here, let me give you an example. I went and I picked up the Garcinia Cabogia thing because that is just such a hot item right now. I just clicked on the first product there. I went down and found where it says product details. And underneath that, you're going to find Amazon's best sellers rank, and this is number 4 in health and personal care. Now that is really, really huge, because now I'm going to flip to the next page where I found this little chart on the internet, and I'm going to tell you how you can get that at the end of this presentation. And in this, it's relating to books, but I have found that my selling results correlate really well with this, so I think we can trust it. But as anything, it is an estimate. But it's estimating if you are 3 to 8, you're selling about 4,000 units a day. So that whoever that is selling that Garcinia Kabosia is making bank, and maybe it's that $1 million guy. I don't know. But then it goes down to 10 to 20 selling, 1,300 to 1,800, 20 to 30, 900 to 1,300, and I know people doing this kind of volume. I mean, it is insane. And this chart goes down to even if you're ranked 8,500 to 40K, you're selling 1 to 10 a day. I mean, it's really seriously a store on steroids. So back at Google, what is ranking over there? Well, we know it isn't much for us little guys anymore, which, get me off my soapbox. Channels of monster sites are what's ranking now. And here is an example of Garcinia Kabosia. I kind of pick on this market a little bit. And the purple is the AdSense, or the advertisements that are in Google. And what we have here is a demonstration of channels. Dr. Oz would be a monster site. We have our Amazon site, which is a channel. It's a sales site. Then we have video, which is, right here is your YouTube. We go down a little bit. Another monster site. We have an article with author. Actually, this was a blog. It was really brilliantly SEO'd. Now, press releases, another channel, Wikipedia, blog, and another press release. So let's do another keyword, Garcinia Kabosia reviews. You see Amazon again, press releases, video, blog, another monster site. Actually, I mislabeled this. This was a press release. And here's the monster site again. Facebook pages rank really, really well. Another press release and that article with the author. What we're seeing is channels ranking really well in Google, and they're actually pretty easy to rank too. We saw the monster sites, so if you can get your coverage on monster sites, you can rank. If you can get your material on monster sites, you can rank. Amazon, which is a monster site, every time you see a buyer search, you're going to see an Amazon product most times. YouTube or any of those other videos, press releases. See, these are all monster sites. Article with author, you have to be really, really good with SEO, same with the blog. But Facebook is another monster site. So all these in red, these are the ones that we want to go after. We want to put our material on them and rank those pages. So a little bit more than that, because these are the typical channels, and this is what I talked about a little bit earlier, and how there's more than just information search. There's video search, there's image search, there's music search, there's TV search, auction search, news search, and community Facebook search, and the buyer's search engine search. But guess what? Because they're ranking all of these, they're teaching us, now this gets back into mistake number 3, they're teaching us how to use these. So they are really, by not ranking the little guy, they're educating Google is educating their user, their searcher, on these other platforms. And through osmosis, their users are just going to go directly to these other platforms and bypass Google altogether. Huge mistake, which ties into them. They're so horrible to their fan base. And we kind of get why they're doing it, but they're totally missing the mark here. I mean, what are they doing? I think they're going to look back at these years and go, wow, what were we doing? What were we thinking? So let's talk about ranking on Google. It doesn't take as many links to rank a channel property. So all you have to do is place your content on a channel property and link to it. That's pretty much it, but you don't have to link to it a lot, and you can watch it rise up in the search engines. And I would say, and I meant to put this on the slide, at least 90% of the URL and maybe 10%, 5 to 10%, maybe even less than that, 5%, depends on the market, the keyword, the money keyword that you want to rank for. Not too much. I mean, it's pretty hard to over-optimize a huge monster site. But to be on the safe side, use URLs as your anchor text in your links. So press releases for links and placement, they're working really well right now, even though Google says and Matt Cutts says they're gone, just like guest blogging, and because they go after these things manually. So press releases are still working, they're working really well. Press releases boost the channel property you're linking to from the press release and also rank themselves. I'm going to show you an example of that in a second. So services that I like to use, prreach.com, they create a video with a newscaster in it, so you can rank that too. Pressadvantage.com is a new one by the Link Emperor guys. Newswire.net, another good one. PRWeb, of course, the old standard. You got a lot of choices out there. And then what you're going to see when you start doing this is getting on top of Google. You're going to rank your Amazon page, you're going to rank your YouTube video, and you're going to rank your press releases. Look at this is what was going on for that huge keyword Garcinia carobosia. This is what Google's ranking these days. Now I've made you another little chart to try to bring it down, even make it simpler for you. Now you can see here it's like, okay, we're looking for gourmet olive oil, and then these are different channels, and you would send links to your channels. So this might be an Amazon page, a YouTube page, you know, a news from ABC or something like that, Facebook, Google image. So this is the kind of stuff that you want to link to and bring to the top of the search engines. So hopefully that simplifies it for you a little bit. And I want you to notice that I put gourmet olive oil on the title tag here. It's really, really important, no matter what you're doing, is that the title is the keyword that you want to rank for. Seems like that's even more important than links these days. So that's pretty crucial. And that's why I have it here on each one of these things. Now the next thing I've created, and I just thought of this last night, it's called the Circles of Power. And in the middle is you, and that is your persona. Who do you want to be? What kind of market do you want to go into? So, okay, I'm in the olive oil market. So then the next thing that you would do is find the products that you would want to sell for that. So right here, I just arbitrarily listed 4, and then I've chosen one. So that's my olive oil. And then I do the promotion for it. I create my Amazon page. I send out a news release. I make a YouTube video, all linking to actually probably my Amazon page, but we'll get into that in the following weeks. But these are these are the type of things that promote you. These are channels that are promoting you, and you can have more. I just arbitrarily put 3 and made, I would say, your press releases, so your news and your videos are probably the most important, besides your, of course, your Amazon product page. But then, you know, then we have the push to the promotion, and that's the links coming into those that rises them to the top of the search engines. So the first thing you want to do is figure out your persona. You know, what do you want to do? What do you want to represent? Who do you want to be? And then the second thing is to look for products. That's, you know, of course, the next on the line. Look for good products, and we're going to give you formulas next week on how to find products that sell and sell very well. And then the third thing is the promotion of those products. And again, that's something that we're going to go into in depth. We're going to hold your hand through this. And then the fourth is then to push the promotion up. And that is the circle of power. And that really is this whole system in a nutshell. Here is something I'm working on right now. The keyword is ASM Bonus 2014. I own practically the whole page. We have press releases here, videos. I have other properties that are coming up for these keywords. You know, an Amazon listing, PDFs, sound files, Facebook pages. Google kind of wants to put one thing of any type of media that they can find. So that's why when I say channels are ranking, that's what it means. Different media channels is what Google is showing in its results right now. And it's not hard to manipulate. So here's another keyword, gourmet olive oil. And this is where I'm at. I'm on the first page. I think I'm number 7. Haven't done too much with it. This is my Amazon listing. And I have a 30-day challenge that I'm going to make to myself, and I am going to show you everything I do. My 30-day challenge to myself is to take this over with channel media, SEO. And I'm going to show you everything I do, and I am going to, you know, fail or I'm going to succeed. But I'm going to show you. It's going to be my challenge to take as much real estate over on this keyword. Now, hopefully, Google's not paying attention and I get wiped out and get pie on my face. But stay tuned with us for the next couple weeks, and you're going to see me do this. I'm already ranking number 1 on Amazon for the term gourmet olive oil. But I've been saving the keyword olive oil so you can see how this works in the next 30 days. And so if you search on olive oil, you go to Amazon, search olive oil in the olive departments. You don't even have to put in gourmet anything. Go to page 5. I should be the second listing around that. And that's what it looks like. Now, if you want to help me to rise up in the search engine and watch this test, that would be perfect. I'm going to give you 50% off if you buy it. But you got to search for olive oil and then click on my listing and buy it, because this tells Amazon that people like this olive oil product and they start rising it up in the rankings. So this is an experiment. I don't even make any money off this. This is my dad. So it's a nice thing to do for my dad. But use the code RANKTEST and we'll see what happens, how many sales it takes, and how many pages I move up by doing this. You get 50% off. It's a great bottle of olive oil. We normally win gold at the Los Angeles International Olive Oil Competition, although we haven't got results back yet this year. So this really is just a live ranking test. I'm not pitching anything. You get it at cost. So if you want to participate, great, and get a great bottle of olive oil. If not, that's fine too. So simply put, Google has done some stupid stuff that's lowering their buyer traffic, while Amazon has built an empire of distribution centers, making themselves the #1 online retailer with the best buyer search engine and traffic we have seen to date, which reveals to you why there is such a shift of marketers moving over to Amazon's business model. And I have shown you that Google ranks channels and how easy it is to get on page 1 with them, thus helping your Amazon rankings. And I've opened up the 30-day challenge to myself and promised to show you what I do and how I do it. The good, the bad, the ugly. If I succeed or if I fail, you're going to see it. So, then, which leaves me with one question for you. What are you going to sell on Amazon? Now, we're going to have more on that next week, but the bottom line is, you know, you can sell anything you want. It's now possible for you to reinvent yourself and be whomever you want. So it's not just about what's selling the best, and it is. I mean, we're going to go through some formulas next week, and that is going to reveal a lot of things to you. But also, this is a time where you could reflect and reinvent yourself and do anything you want to do. I mean, if you want to be the popsicle man, be the popsicle man, or a winemaker, a golf pro, photographer, weight loss specialist. Anything that you've always wanted to get into, now is the time to do it, and the internet is the way to go, and 10 to 1, it's something that's already selling on Amazon. So it's really up to you. But now is the time to take your part in taking the web back. And in the meantime, I've got gifts for you. I have the list of the best channels you can use to rank in Google. I have 108 press release ideas from PR Reach, and the best-selling ranking Amazon chart that we showed a little bit earlier. And you can get all of that at asmbigbonus.org/webinarbonus.pdf. And that's still up there, and I'm going to leave that up there so you can write that down. Now, this is all the stuff that I'm not going to have on the replay, but I want to give it away to you just for being on the call and going through this and taking your time out to possibly imagine your next step on the internet, your next step with Amazon, your next step in who you want to be. I mean, there really is no time like this time right now. And I've just proven to you how much traffic Amazon gets and how good their traffic is compared to Google. But at the same time, I wish you loads and loads of success. And I wouldn't be talking about it if I didn't believe in it, because I don't do webinars very often. It took me a long time to put this presentation together and find those numbers that were so compelling that I wanted to share. I mean, I really, really do believe that this is the mark of a new era. You can be whoever you want to be, and you can work at home, and you can rank on Google, and you can make sales at Amazon. And just remember, this is a series. This is the first one, and let me click off here, and I'll talk to you a little bit more about what's coming up. Ah, it works. Okay, there I am, although you're not going to see me for 10 more seconds. Anyway, thanks. I hope that made a lot of sense to you. I am getting a lot of questions in, but you know, with the delay and stuff, it's just going to be really hard to answer questions. Although Amy did put some in front of my face that a lot of people are asking about, and that is if you want more detail on how specifically to work with Amazon and sell products on Amazon. That kind of stuff is going to come up. I have a video to send you to on Monday, and then next week I'm going to do another webinar, Google Hangout, and I'm going to have some people on that have reinvented themselves already and are making money on Amazon and selling stuff that they want to sell. Actually, some people have chosen products just to make money, and you can certainly do that as well. There's a formula, and I'll be glad to share that next week as well. And yeah, so the other questions were about products and stuff. But I would really, like to see you reinvent yourself. This is a time where you can do anything you want, be anything you want. This is the internet. This is the wild, wild west. You can just get out there and do it. So I hope that you take that and you do that, and I hope to see you next Wednesday. And hopefully Matt is going to put the sign-in registration screen up. Yes, I can see he's doing that now. Cool. You should be seeing that and not me right now. Oh, and he's telling me to go ahead, answer questions. So here, Amy's giving me another list, and here's the first one on here. What the heck is a channel property? Well, I was trying to make it more simple for you. It used to be called, well, it still is called parasite SEO, because just like how a parasite, like a bug, lives on a host, so will we, with our content, we live on another host. Like Amazon, Facebook, YouTube, things like that. So I call them channels, though. Like if you take a TV channel and you change the channel. So let's say on channel 2 there is videos. So that's the video channel, and you have all your videos like Daily Motion, YouTube, things like that. And then channel 4 is press releases, and in channel 4 you could have all those different press release places that I told you to go to upload a press release. Channel 5 might be news. Actually, that would be the same as press release. I'm sorry. Channel 5 might be Facebook or social media types, things like that. So it's just different media types. And that seems to be what Google is ranking right now, is different media types. So that is what I'm talking about, a channel. They seem to pick one of each channel to put on the first page. Just what they're doing these days. They may stop doing that at any time. We never know about Google. Okay, so hopefully that answered your question. The next one was, so is the goal to sell something on Amazon and then try to get links to rank my Amazon page and offer other pages I made on monster sites? Actually, that is exactly it. Your goal is to put something up on Amazon, which would be your product from, deriving from something that you want to do. Let's say like a golf pro. You're really totally into golf. So there's all kinds of golf products. And so you become the expert in golf, and you're going to be starting to sell these golf products. And you put them on Amazon, and then you rank the other channels like YouTube, press releases, maybe a Facebook fan page that's going to create links to your Amazon site that's going to rank your Amazon site, and at the same time those rank as well. So that's why this has often been used in reputation management when we try to push down negative rankings by taking over the first page, actually. So that could be another term for this type of SEO. And believe me, this is not SEO as you may think, especially if you're new online and you have gotten the opinion that SEO is really, really tough. When you're ranking these type of channels in these media, it's really a lot easier. It's almost a no-brainer. In fact, I'm going to go over getting links and things like that in one of our upcoming webinars. And you don't need that many. It's really easy. Once you put your content on these hosts, these monster sites, they do rank pretty well, even sometimes without links. It's just a matter of getting your content on them. Okay, next. What if I don't have something to sell on Amazon? Where do I get something to sell? Well, that is certainly coming up in a video that's coming out on Monday. And that's probably where everybody lies. And you want to look at all your products, and then there are formulas to find the best product in your niche to make the most money. What is selling the most right now? What has the most margins? And we're going to go over that in the following weeks, especially on this video that's coming out on Monday. I want you to watch, and that's going to give you a really good idea on how to choose products for the niche that you want to get in. And a lot of people just look for products and then get into the niche. And I gotta say, this is something that this is a business, and this is something you're gonna have to hold on to and grasp onto. It might as well be something you enjoy doing, something that you have an interest in. So that's why I talk about inventing yourself first. Let's go from there and then find the products to sell. Because there's zillions of products to sell and everything is selling. I mean, if you can think of it, it's probably selling on Amazon. So next question, how do I even know what to sell? Do I just pick something I like, or is there a way to figure out what is already selling well? That kind of just answered that in the last question, and yes, there are ways to figure out what's selling. So when you find that niche, it's like, okay, let's find out what's selling in that niche. What can I make the most money on? And there are formulas for that. And actually, I believe I know we built a software product that helps you work with the numbers and find those types of products, things that might be more easily able to rise to the top of the rankings in Amazon, and that's definitely where you want to go because that's where the huge volume comes in. But even if you have a low seller rank, you're still going to be selling, 10 to 20 or maybe 1 to 10 a day, which if you have good margins, that's nice. So anyway, okay, hopefully I answered that. And yes, there's more going to be revealed on all of that. Next question, do I have to make and ship the stuff myself that I try to sell on Amazon? It sounds hard to do, even though it can probably make money. Well, here's the thing, you don't have to make it. There are plenty of vendors out there, manufacturers already making everything under the sun. And what can I say about this? Manufacturers are in the business of manufacturing. They are not in the business of selling stuff. Now, especially if you've had a couple years of marketing under your belt, you're going to be able to sell stuff way better than a manufacturer could. Because what do? They manufacture stuff. So it's like my dad who produces olive oil. He's a farmer. He produces olive oil. He could never be able to get it online and sell it like we're doing. So that's the difference, and that is why you don't have to make it yourself. And you don't have to fulfill it yourself either. Amazon has something that's called FBA, that's fulfilled by Amazon. So what you do is just inside of Amazon, you print out your label, you ship your product to Amazon, and that's it. And then they fulfill it. And people get it in 2 days. It's called Amazon Prime. It's the most wonderful thing in the world. Next question says, thanks, Dory, great stuff. Thank you, I appreciate that. I worked pretty hard on this presentation, actually. And it says, my question is concerning Google. If you link to your Amazon page, can they penalize it? Well, Google can do anything that they want to do, and it seems like they do. Right now, the answer is no-ish. We can get away with a lot more linking to these monster sites than we're able to do to our own sites because there's so many links going into it. Now, Penguin, for anybody who knows, are link penalties. They seem to be page specific, so I still stay on the very cautious side and only link using my URL most of the time. And by URL, I mean, your product listing page URL, the domain name. So it'd be amazon.com/ blah, 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 your product number. If you use that as the anchor text, the link, the stuff that you click on, then that seems to be safer than if you keep using, red doghouse, red doghouse, red doghouse, red doghouse. That will trip a over optimization penalty. So right now, we're getting away with it in spades. Will it change? Who knows? It can. So I tend to stay on the cautious side, and we'll be figuring more of that out too. We are testing a lot of stuff right now on how many links an Amazon page can take before it gets over optimized. What the balance is and how we can do it the cheapest and easiest way. So hopefully that answered that. Next question, how much does it cost to get started selling on Amazon? Well, that really depends on the product that you're going to be selling. I mean, you can get on and start selling inexpensive stuff fairly easy, and I know people that have got online of just buying $100 worth of inventory, selling it, then running out, and then, buying more inventory. Although Amazon does have a small fee, and it changes. It can be either a flat fee or and then I think it's $49. It might be $39. I haven't even checked in a while because I just signed up and went for it. Or it could be a pay per, and that's 99 cents, I believe. Um, okay, next question. Do you think Amazon will get tougher to rank and sell on? Don't you think they will figure out that we have figured them out, so they change their algorithm like Google did? Well, absolutely. I think that Google may do that, and you know, if history plays itself out over again like Google did, then it seems likely that they would. But right now, we know what we know, and we know how to do it. And because this is the tip of the iceberg, I mean, we can, you know, now's the time to get on there and get your products solidly ranking, because the algorithm is more sales, the better you rank, the more reviews. So if you already have that by the time that they change, then you're going to be safe. This is my opinion anyway. And like everything in business, nothing is 100% guaranteed. So in any business you go in, there's going to be some risk. I'm just saying the risk is really tolerable at this point. In fact, there's barely any risk, as I can see. Next question. I have a service. Can I sell that on Amazon? You know, I'm actually not so sure about that. That's something I would have to check on. I do know that you can put up things around your business and bring in more traffic, something cheap like a book or you know, a Kindle book or something like that. And there are people that are doing that. And that actually, I'm reading the next question. It says, are you talking about selling Kindle books, or is this something different? I'm actually not talking about selling Kindle books, but for a service, you could sell a Kindle book as a lead generation mechanism. But this is about taking something and putting your own brand on it. So the olive oil I'm selling is Olive Oak olive oil. It's from my dad's ranch. And actually we'll probably sell out of his olive oil in the next month or two. So we're going to start sourcing it from other olive farmers around here in California. So what you're going to do is go to a manufacturer and private label it. You're going to put your own label on it. So there's not going to be a zillion other competitors selling this product. I mean, yes, they may be selling the same thing as you, but it's your brand on it. It's really quite amazing. And this is why it's a business model. It's not an affiliate play at all. You're creating a business. And then when you go deep into that, so like olive oil example again, we're even going to go off Amazon as well and sell it. I mean, we already sell it in the wineries out here and things, but we're going to start an olive oil club, a California olive oil club. So I'll be able to sell that subscription on Amazon, but there's all kinds of different ways I can sell it. Now that I'm in the olive oil business, my mind is just exploding with the different avenues I can sell olive oil. So that's really where you want to go on that. It's not about just selling Kindle books and things like that. So anyway, I'm getting the cue to close it up now. And I just want to remind you of next week's webinar, and please go and sign up for that. We're going to drill down into what's making people so successful and what they're doing to get the results that they're getting. And also be sure to download your bonus, and in that you're going to have that chart I did, the circles of power, and in that is your actionable steps. You know, figure out who you're going to be, and then start looking on Amazon for products that you may want to sell. And then by early next week, we're going to be telling you how to look at those products in a different way so you can know which one's going to make you the most amount of money in the shortest amount of time. All right, Dory out. See you next week. Thanks. Bye.